Welcome back and thank you for staying with us here at Hot 7 TV. Once again, the government of St. Lucia is continuing on in its efforts to return St. Lucians stranded aboard to their homeland. On Wednesday, the 3rd of June, 47 local students and cruise ship workers arrived through the George F.L. Charles Airport. And on Wednesday, June 10th, another batch of 94 nationals, including persons whose visas had expired and those seeking medical attention, returned home from the United States. Geraint Georges, who is the member of the Repatriation Committee and also serves as the press relations manager at the SLTA, revealed that another group is due to return home by the end of this week.
On Friday, June 19th, 168 more St. Lucian nationals will be welcomed home through the repatriation process. They are employees of Norwegian Cruise Line who have been impacted by the global travel restrictions associated with COVID-19. The Department of Health and Wellness has granted permission for the arrival and disembarkation processes of the vessel MS Marina into Port Castries, which will follow with the departure of the carrier out of St. Lucia. Upon arrival, the usual protocols will be observed, and that includes screening by port health personnel with a subsequent transfer to a government-operated quarantine facility where the nationals will be housed and monitored for a period of 14 days.
Georges said to date, the different agencies involved have seen the successful repatriation of 616 nationals. That number, she said, will increase to 784 once this group has been welcomed home.
Efforts are ongoing to ensure that stranded nationals as far as northern and southern Europe, Brazil, the Philippines, Mexico, Dubai, and other areas of the Caribbean can be brought home in the soonest possible time. Nationals too are also reminded to keep in regular contact with the nearest St. Lucian embassy, the consulate, and the Office of Diaspora Affairs, as they are very instrumental in the repatriation process.
The island's borders were officially reopened on the 4th of June 2020. In other news, the Water and Sewerage Company Limited, WASCO, is appealing to the public to continue rationing and conserving water on a household level. WASCO's Communication and Marketing Officer, Sherry-Ann Gaylord-Williams, is calling on the public to exercise patience, as the few millimeters of rainfall recorded thus far is not enough to cause significant changes to the level of water at the John Compton Dam. She has indicated that in the long term, the company will implement changes to ensure the water flow issue in the south of the island is resolved or at least minimized.
St. Lucia remains under drought watch with a water emergency alert, even though the country is 3 weeks into the hurricane season. The Communication and Marketing Officer at WASCO, Sherry-Ann Gaylord-Williams, says the Water and Sewage Company continues to advise members of the public to harvest rainwater whenever it rains, as well as find suitable and appropriate ways to store water when it is given through the company's system.
We want to just encourage people and let them know that despite the fact that we have been having some rains over the past few days, it is definitely not enough, not even close to replenishing the amount of water that we have in, or we are used to having, at the John Compton Dam. What we want to do, however, is to encourage people to continue rainwater harvesting. Of course, we are in a drought period, so we do not expect to get significant amounts of rains for now. But whenever we do get it, and whenever possible, we want to encourage people to, harvest the rainwater. Of course, you can use it for several things at home and whatnot. We want to encourage people as well to get their storage tanks so that you can, get water, you can get access to water. It is readily available to you through your taps and so on. We want to encourage people to continue storing water properly so that they are able to get access to water.
Williams explained that a significant amount of rainfall is needed in order for there to be surface runoff to replenish the rivers as well as the dam. She indicated that the company is aware of the various areas that are affected the most, particularly in the south of the island, and is coming up with measures that will help alleviate the water woes indefinitely.
The situation with the south of the island is that there is no dam, there is no reservoir like we have in the north of the island at the John Compton Dam, for example. So we get our water through the various rivers. We use them as, some of the rivers as intakes. What we are looking to do right now, what we are considering seriously right now, is desalination. So our board of directors are considering, what are the best options, how best we can go about commissioning these plants, so that we are able to, address the water situation in the south of the island.
She also explained that due to how unpredictable the situation is with the water at the dam, there is no set system for the rationing of water in the various communities. She indicated that the company, however, is trying its utmost to provide equitable amounts of water to all communities.
We do get calls from customers indicating, where some of the problems are most acute, and we do take note of these, and of course we will supplement whatever we can do through our systems with water trucks and so on. It is a very costly venture, but we try as best as possible to try to accommodate the residents, to try to, bring a measure of relief to people who would otherwise have been without a supply of water for an inordinate period of time.
Williams asserted that moving forward, the issues with water pressure in low-lying areas will be remedied with the plans to desalinate water. She continues to request that persons exercise patience with the water company, as well as make use of water harvesting and storage techniques available to them. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
The National Workers' Union, NWU, has informed the Minister of Labour, Stephenson King, that the union will not support the proposed amendment to extend the severance pay entitlement in the Labour Code from 12 to 24 weeks. The NWU is of the opinion that when workers are temporarily laid off, the current 12 weeks is enough time for an employer to make up his or her mind to take back the said workers or make them redundant and then pay the severance payment to the said workers. An additional 12 weeks will put these workers under tremendous economic and social pressure and could result in the said workers being unable to feed themselves and families during the 24-week period. Remember, layoff is without pay. Over the years, the National Workers' Union has worked with the St. Lucia Employers Federation and individual employers to make sure that workers represented by the NWU are legally paid all their entitlements during the layoff redundancy periods. The NWU strongly believes that the minister should shelve the amendment that seeks to move the layoff period from 12 to 24 weeks and begin to reorganize the beleaguered Department of Labor. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us, we'll be right back.